โชโหมิ
อานิโกโหมิ
อานิโคโหมิ
สุขิยตานังปริหารามิ
สุขียตานังปริหารามิ
สัพเพสัตตา
สัพเพสัตตา
สุขิตาหนตุ
สุขิตาหนตุ
ภเวราหนตุ
ภเวราหนตุ
อภิยาปัจจาหนตุ
อานิคาหนตุ
อานิคาหนตุ
สุขิยตานังปริหารันตุ
สุขียตานังปริหารันตุ
This reflects on our wishes for happiness, for well-being, non-suffering, non-sickness, non-pain, non-fear. In English, we can say that may we abide in well-being, in freedom from affliction, in freedom from hostility, in freedom from ill will, in freedom from anxiety, and may we maintain well-being in ourselves. May everyone abide in well-being, in freedom from affliction, in freedom from hostility, in freedom from ill will, in freedom from anxiety, and may they maintain well-being in themselves. May all beings be released from all suffering, and may they not be parted from the good fortune they obtain. And actually this continues with where I usually leave off, but it's good to reflect on all of our good and bad outcomes are connected with karma. And so in the fuller chant, we also reflect that all beings are the owners of their actions and inherit the results. Their future is born from such action, companion to such action, and the results will be their harms. All actions with intention, either skillful or harmful, of those acts will all be theirs. So we reflect that we try our best to be happy in life, but it's also going to be a matter of our karma and the vipaka, the fruits of the karma that we've made in the past that will influence the happiness we have. So let's always try to make good karma so we have all of it entirely. So, firstly, I want to welcome everybody this afternoon. Nice turnout today. I'll be giving a slight announcement at the end, and if I forget somebody, please remind me. Just regarding next Sunday, we're going to have a special event here. So I want to make sure everybody's aware of that. So those who would like to take part can be here, and those that don't want to take part will know that next week will not be a regular meditation weekend. So this last Monday at Buckbuddha, Oregon, I was talking in the evening at our meditation group there about the 7 factors of enlightenment. And these are 7, exactly what they sound like, 7 factors, mental factors that lead to awakening. And in the list that comes from the next part, that usually we cover is the Eightfold Path. And I've been dwelling on the Eightfold Path a lot since, so I thought I would talk about that today. It's such a core teaching in Buddhism, and unfortunately just doesn't necessarily get reflected on enough. But when Buddha gave his teachings, this was the essence of what we do. What is a practice of being Buddhist and practicing Dhamma? It's following the Eightfold Path, developing it and following it. So I thought that would be a good thing to discuss a little bit today. The Eightfold Path was actually part of the Buddha's first sermon. So after his awakening, he went and found his old friends, the 5 ascetics, Panchalakya, and he explained to them about the 4 Noble Truths, namely that all beings have suffering, that suffering has causation, and there is a way to free ourselves from that suffering, and that is through the Noble Eightfold Path. So we could think of this as the path that effectively leads to the end of suffering and the end of stress and the end of birth and all these different troubles that we encounter. The Eightfold Path consists of, first of all, Samma-Ditthi. So Samma is the kind of qualifier for all of the stages. Samma means complete or proper or correct or right. And I've mentioned in the past in English we have the word sum, like the sum of a number, meaning, or the sum of something's parts, meaning its totality. idea of Samma is that there's nothing lacking, that there's nothing missing, that it's complete and full. So Samma Ditti, Ditti means view. So the first part is right view. And this is really sometimes compared to the engine on a train, in that as long as the engine goes, the rest of the cars follow. So without having established this first stage of right view, the rest of the Eightfold Path will not be the correct path. So this becomes our duty, like our primary duty as practitioners of Dhamma, is to develop right view. Without it, there is no real Eightfold Path. Second is Samma Sankappa. This means correct intentions or right thought, something along those lines. Samma Vacha, which is right speech. Samma Kamanta, which is right action. Samma Ajiva, this is right livelihood. Samma Vayama is like right effort, right intensity. Samma Sati, which means right mindfulness, and then Samma Samadhi, which is right composure. And all of these are just translation. They don't really grasp fully the meanings, but they give us a sense of what these stages are. So in one approach to the Eightfold Path, the Buddha talked about it in terms of three types of trainings. Tisika, meaning the sort of three aspects of the Eightfold Path, consists of Sila, which is virtue, Samadhi, which is again mental composure and purity, and Panya, which is wisdom. And oftentimes we would look at the practice to develop the Eightfold Path in this light of these three parts. So Sila, Samadhi, Panya, virtue, mental purity and composure, and wisdom. And as I've said zillions of times, and you'll hear zillions more if you keep coming on Sundays, it's always going to begin with Sila or virtue, or in other words, the 5 precepts and 8 precepts. Bottom line, for the spiritual practice to be correct, we have to have the Sila. In the same way that if you want to build a strong building, you need a good foundation, a strong stone, a strong, stable foundation, or the place is going to crumble quickly. So no matter how much we might have all the technical ends and everything of the Dhamma memorized and trying to put it into practice, if we build it on a shaky foundation, it's garbage. It's not going to develop. So we really need the Sila. And in the Eightfold Path, you don't see that at the beginning. You see right view. So this is because we don't start with right view. Our